Hey there, this is Shant. I'm a software engineer and I'm the owner of Balian's company, outsourcing and innovation company. Today we're gonna learn about storing stuffs in the cloud using digital ocean spaces with the Spring, and you're gonna have a super convenient place to keep your files safe and access from everywhere. So whenever you are new in coding or you've been a years or a while, this Twitter for sure we're gonna help you understand how the cloud storages work for you, and let's go started. So let's first of all create a new application. I'm gonna name it upload. I'm gonna use Maven. You can use whenever you like. Next, we need to have the web. We need to have the Lombok dependencies. We have the GPA, Postgres driver, and let's create it. Not Maven. I know why. Let's configure it quickly. Project structure. Okay, it's everything up there. Yeah, it's ready. So let's go and check our files. Always, I used to work on YAML. You can use your XML if you like. Now we need to add two dependencies first of all. One is coming from AWS Java SDK 3 from Amazon, and the other dependency is Cummins IO for this dependency. Great. Let's import them. Next, let me close this. Let me quickly add the package that we need. We need a config. We need controller package. We need repository. We need models. And also we need service package. Okay. Next, let me create a new file here. I'm gonna call it Docker Compose. And we're gonna create the database here. So let's try the version 3. We have services, which are Postgres, and the image name is, again, let it be Postgres. And the container name, I'm gonna name it Java Postgres. And we need to specify the ports, and I think it will be the default port here for local and production. And let me specify the environment. So first of all, Postgres user. Let's make it something like this. You can choose whenever you like. Postgres host authorization method trust. And finally, I want to specify the DB name, which I would like to make it upload DB, something like this. Now we need to go to the resources application. We need to make some configuration here regarding the data source, and it will be driver class name, yes, this one, and URL will be JDBC PostgreSQL localhost 5432 and Postgres. And we need to specify the username here, which is SA. We don't need any password here. And this is also for only demonstration purposes. You can configure your data source as is needed, and also it's not secure to add sensitive data like this. You have to use placeholders. You can upload it whenever you can add the data for them on the Docker, or you can use another third APIs like the Vault, which I always use, and I'm gonna make a video on it. It's a very powerful tool that you can set and get with 5 keys the data, set the data you want it. So let's go and work for this. So I'm not advised to add sensitive data just like this in the YAML section. So let's go to the dialect and let me specify org hibernate dialect, which is PostgreSQL dialect. Also, you can add whenever you like. Maybe you can use Hibernate, DDL auto update. You can show your SQL and so on. So this is the basic configuration for the data source. And what else we need to do it is to add the DigitalOcean spaces information here. So we need the key, we need the secret, we need the endpoint. Also, we need here the region and the bucket name. So first of all, let's go to DigitalOcean. If you don't have an account, make an account. In the left menu, you can see that we have here something called Spaces Objects Storage. So let's click on it. Let's create space bucket. You need to choose the database region. I will make it very simple, guys. And we need to give it a name. Let's say uploading. It's okay. So let's create a space with the bucket. Now we have it already. So what we need to get it, this is the endpoint. Let's copy the endpoint and add it here. Another thing, the region. Let's go and find a region. The region should be NYC3. This is the region. So let's add this region also here. Let's go to get the bucket name. The bucket name is the name that you already specified it. Yes, let me add it. Now we need the key and the secret, how we can get it. So inside it, in the menu here, in the left menu, maybe in the bottom, you can see the API. So let's get, and inside you can see many tabs here. Choose the space key. Let me generate a new one. Let me delete this one first. Let's generate a new key. Let's name it upload demo, or you can name it whenever you like. Now, this is the access key. And this is the secret key. So we have them all. Let's go back to our bucket, and inside the settings, of course, there are many options here. You can choose it from it, but for just demonstration purposes, we are trying to enable file listing here. You can restrict it, you can add a CDN whenever you like, but just for demonstration purposes, we're gonna open it for all the connections. So we have them all here. Let's go and have the code. So first of all, let's go and add a config file here, which gonna be do config name, and here is we're gonna configure all the connections and the credentials. I'm sorry, configuration, finally. So let me add the values, and we're gonna add the value like this. So do spaces, and we need to specify here the key, okay? And private string, do spaces, do space key. Let's check if we are right. Yes, we are right. So let's continue. So also we need here another thing here. We need the property for the secret. So let's do it quickly. And also we need the endpoint here. We're gonna need it for the specification and configuration of the AWS, and the final thing we need here is, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, is the region. And let me do it here, like region. So now let's create a bean and let's write our first code. So inside the file we need the Amazon. We have to return Amazon tree and get S3. And I'm gonna explain all of the issues here, okay? Yes, we need it. Yes, we need this one. We're gonna return Amazon S3 client, but we need the builder actually. Yes, this one, client builder with standard. What we need? We need with endpoint and configuration. We need to configure our endpoint with the dependency that we have of AWS. So we need to specify the endpoint here, endpoint configuration. Let me write it, I can find endpoint configuration. Yeah, this one. And configuration, we need to give it two issues. One is the endpoint, and the other one is the, I guess, the region. Oh yeah, do space region. And also with the credentials that we have in hand, which is new AWS static credential provider with the credentials here, and we need to finally build it. So we have everything here written here. So let me get deeper, or let me give you explanation for this. And always I try to give it as a real life explanation. So let's imagine that we are running a delivery service and we need to transfer goods from one place to another using tracks. Okay, so Amazon S3 is like the giant warehouse where you store your goods, the files. The basic AWS credentials are like the key to access this warehouse. Just like you need the key to enter a warehouse, you need a credential to access your Amazon S3 storage. Amazon S3 Client Builder is like a company that builds trucks specially designed for transporting goods to and from the warehouse. The endpoint configuration is like knowing the exact location of the warehouse. For example, it could be in a specific city or region. The AWS static credential provider is like having a trusted employee who holds the key, the credentials, and can use them whenever needed. The bid is finalizing the construction of the truck so it's ready to use for the transportation, okay? So think about it like something like this is as a real life, okay? So let's go for the next step. So the configurations are ready. Let me close this. Let's go and create the module. You can create it as you want. It's up to you. And I'm gonna try to make it more parts so you can benefit from this lecture. Okay, so we have the entity, we have the data here, we have builder. I like it so much. No arcs and all arcs. So inside it we need the ID first of all, and generated value. It will be strategy. As a generated type will be identity. So we have here private long ID, and also we need private string name, private string extension. I will try to make it like a part, the file name, so we can even choose if it's document, if it's movie, and so on. It's up to you for sure. You can do whenever you like. Timestamp. Yeah, you should get the SQL created time, something like this. And private string connect. So those are the important or the basics. You can use it. So what I would like to mention here about the timestamp, we have the SQL and we have the other timestamp, which is the security one. So as you can see, Java SQL and Java SQL. We're going to use the SQL. So the differentiation is the timestamp SQL is typically referred to a data type or functionality within a relational database management system, such as MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle. The timestamp data type in SQL is used to store data and time information. Often it precises down to fractions of a second. It's commonly used to record when a particular practical event or action occurred in a database. Okay, the security timestamp it refers to the practice of protecting computer system networks and data from unauthorized accesses, misuse, or damages. In the context of software development, security involves implementing measures to prevent vulnerabilities, unauthorized access, data breaches, and other security threats. Okay, this can include encryption, authentication mechanism, access control, secure coding practice, and so more. Okay. So this is summary. The timestamp SQL related to a specific features of a database system for managing temporal data, while security encompasses a broad range of practices and technologies aimed safeguarding system and data from various threats and vulnerabilities. Okay, so it's very different. So if you have an error in your timestamp, just check your import. Now that we have the module, let's first of all do the basic things. Let's make it image repository, something like this. You can, whenever you like your naming, okay? So I have a repo, okay, I have a typo here. Let me fix it first. Repository, yeah, which is extend GPA repository for sure with the image object, and it's used long as the key. Also, we're gonna need here the image service impl, which will implement image service. And let me add here the service also required our construction because we need to add the repository here. So image repository, where is it? Where is it? You don't have it? Oh my God. Okay, let me refactor. Yeah, now we're good. Image repository, and let's also create the interface here. And let's go to the control image controller. So what we're gonna do here, because it's REST controller, we need to annotate it. Also, we need to get required R construction, and we need to give him a mapping, request mapping. It should be, let's say, I don't know, upload. And what we need here, okay, we need, first of all, to add image service impl. And let's write our first method, okay? So it will be put mapping, and it's got the value endpoint new, something like this. You can use whenever you like. It should be consumes multi-part, okay, form data value, multi-part. Yeah, we don't need to create it. Maybe there's a mistake. Yeah, this is multi-part. Yeah, okay, we're good. Import static, yes. And we return producers, application. Let's give it JSON value. The value is imported here. Okay. So what we need a public response entity, and we need to return a string, or let's return the image which is saved, okay? So let's give it upload file, and we need to specify the request param here, yes, and we name it files, and we'll give it final multi part file with the name of file, could be, yes, good. So let's import this first of all, and also this one. Yeah, and response entity for sure. So what we need here, we need to have the response, right? So the response will be, as you know, image service, and we name it save file, and we're gonna send the file. And at return, we need to return, new response entity. It should be okay with the response body. So let's go first of all create this method, which will return not object image. Import class. Great. Now let's go to the implementation. We need to implement this. Okay. We have an error here in the image controller, which is yes for sure. Okay. And I'm sorry. Okay. And okay, sorry. Yeah, it's my fault. It happens. So let's get started here, and let's first of all start using the extension. And I want to get the extension. I want to use the file name which is from command.io, and I want to get extension of the file, get original file name. And also I need to get the image name. Of course, you can create the way you like it. I'm just playing around, not more. So we need to remove the extension, file, get original file name. So I'm extracting the extension and the file name, just nothing else, okay? What we need else? We need the key for the Amazon. So we need to add a couple of issues here, couple of folders. So we need to specify something like private static final string. Let me name it folder, and I want to add inside the images folder when I'm uploaded. Okay, so it's optional, just giving you all the options that you can use it. So let me do this something like this, folder, and the image EMG name, and also I want to add the dot, and I want to add the extension. Like I'm telling that the key that I would like to use it is inside the images, and the name dot the extension. Also, you can use the file name get origin like this. It's up to you. So after this, I want to send it to a method where we can save the image to a server with the file and the key. So let's go, and first of all, let's create this method. So what we need here is object metadata, which is from Amazon Services module, and let's name it metadata, and let's create instance of it. So the metadata that we have it here should be set metadata set content length. I'm gonna explain why we need it. So we need the file, and we need to get input stream, and we need from the get input stream available. Okay, this is first section. So let's give a check. Let's say if the file get content type is not null, and for another reason, let me find my ends. Yeah, the is not empty. The file get content type. Now we have a deal. The metadata. Then we set the metadata. We need to set the content type with the file of content type. So at the end, we need to ask S3 client. The S3 client, we need to import it actually. So let's import it again. Let's go up here, and let's give it final private final Amazon 3 S3 client. Now we have it. Yes. So what we need to do it, we need to put the object, which is new put object request, and what we need to give it. So we need to give the bucket name. So we need to bring the bucket name here. So let's go to the here like this one. Let's copy this. we need to add here, but we don't need the region. We need the bucket name, and this one should be bucket. Yes. So we need to give the bucket here. I'm sorry. And what else we need here? We need to give the key that we have it, which is the destination that we want to have it. We need to add the file get input stream and also metadata here. And I guess we finished from this section. We can also add with canned echo and canned echo list will be public with. Where is it? Public with public. Yeah, it's my fault. Public read. Okay, so we have this configuration. For sure, we have here exceptions. We need to add it. And also we need to add the exception, all the methods, and so on. So let me fix all those errors here for the exception. And let's come back here. And let me explain the save image to the server, what it's doing. So what we have here, let me explain it to you so you can understand what's going on. Imagine you have a magic box, toy box, okay? A magical toy box, okay? And you want to put some toys inside it so that other kids can play with them, okay? But before you put the toys in the box, you need to prepare them properly and make sure that everyone knows they're safe to play with it. Okay, so the preparing the toy, the multi-part is like a toy. It's a special type of toy that can be made from different materials like plastic or cloth and is packaged up nicely so we can easily carry it around. We need to check the toy size and type to make sure it's safe to play with. In the code, we check the size of the toy, its content length, and what it's made is the content type, okay? So putting the toys in the toy box. Our magical toy box is like the Amazon S3 storage. It's a special place in the cloud where we keep our toys in the case, images, and so on. Before we put the toy in the box, we need to tell the toy box how big the toy is and what it's made of. That's what the metadata does in this code. It's like putting a label on the toy box with important information about the toy. Finally, we put the toy in the toy box. In the code, put object is like placing the toy in the toy box, and with canon SO is like telling the toy box that it's okay for other kids to play with the toy. So this is the simplest way I can explain this code. If you want to dig deeper, you have to go to the documentation and read about it, okay? So now after we saved it, we need to go and create our image. So our image is image builder. So we need to specify the name of it, which is the image name. Also, we need to add created datetime new timestamp. Do not use the SQL for sure. I'm sorry, the secret security one. New date, okay. Now get time. What we have here, error. Let me check my timestamp. It's SQL and that one is SQL. So what is the, let me try to utils, get time. Also, we have the extension, which is the extension that we made it. And we have the link. Of course, you can do it like this. For me, I prefer to add the whole link in it. If you prefer not, it's up to you. Okay. So what we need to have is we have to grab another section here, which is not the bucket, is the endpoint. So endpoint. So we can just copy this. We can add it like endpoint. Let's make it concat, or yeah, let's make it plus. It's okay. And what we need to add here, we need to add the key where the folder and the file name is there, so we can keep it in our database. So what else we need? We need to build it, and after that we need to save it in the repository. So we need to save it as the image entity, and to make it, because we are returning the image, we need to return directly to the front end or to the Postman that we're gonna use it. Okay. Now let's run our application. As you can see, the database already created here, which is running on the Docker, but I guess it's not in the upload section. It's in the Postgres section. Yes, because our endpoint. So let me check. Yeah, we have the images here. So let's go to the Postman and try to run a test. Upload. Also, let me come and understand that I'm gonna use a put mapping. The endpoint is upload new and the request parameter file. So let's come here. Let's add post or put. I forgot it. Yeah, it's put. That's for sure. It should be put. So HTTP localhost 8080 upload and new. We have the body here in the row. We have form data. We have the name file, which is a file. Let's select file. We have this one here, and let's send it. Okay, we have 500 here. Let's go and check why. It says the service Amazon S3 status code 404. It didn't find it because no such bucket. Okay, so this error is from the configurations, actually. So what we have here, we need to have two kinds of endpoints. One is for the configuration and one for the image link. Okay, so let's change it, this one to endpoints, and let's remove this uploading section because it's confusing between the bucket and the endpoint. So we need to give him the endpoints in this section. As you can see, we need to give to the, because it's not, we are working with the AWS SDK and we are trying to upload to the DigitalOcean. We need to remove this uploading section here. So let's give it a try and let's see. Let me restart it. Also, I think we're gonna have an issue, but not because of it. We're gonna have an issue because of another issue. Yes. Let me come in here and let me understand. Yes. Do a space bucket. Do space endpoint, which is this one. Okay, we need also in the do config to change this to the S again. And also we need to import, do you know what? Let me give it endpoint for data, endpoint for data, because the endpoint we are saving here is not the same actually anymore. So we need to save it in the way of this one, and we need to add, let me grab it so you can understand it here. So I need to save it as endpoint image, just and the name of the file, okay? So if I'm gonna use this one, I'm gonna lose this data here. So if I'm gonna return it back, it will be error. So this is why I'm using do a space endpoint for a data so we can have the data fully. We upload NYC3 and so on. And this endpoint is for, where is it? Yeah, this one we don't need it anymore here. Just we need it inside the doconfig endpoint, which is without the uploading, which is the bucket name. So I think this will should work it. Let's give it a try again. Yes, we have in our database is returning the image ID, the photo, the name of the photo, the extension of it, the grid time, and even this is the endpoint that we save it in our database. So if I open it, I should get an image. Yes, we got that image. And also let's go to this. Yeah, we have the database. Let me refresh it for you, please. And let's go and see it. Yes, it's inside the images, uploading images, and inside the images we have this photo. So let me again explain what I've done here so it will be understood. If I kept this one, if I kept this one and I removed the uploading bucket from the endpoint and I came to here, let me check this, endpoint, and I came to here, this endpoint, which is saving our link, will not work because it's losing a data from the HTTPS and the bucket name. So let me run again this one so you can have a better understanding. I configure those. Yeah. Now take a look of this link. Let me copy this link for you. And now let me send the same data. Now, as you can see, you don't have the uploaded first link. Let me show it. So the HTTP is uploading is missing here. As you can see, we don't have it. So if I just open this one and I try to get it to take the image, it will return a false, an error, because it's not here. Because the endpoint that we are using needs the endpoint, the real endpoint that we have for the uploading section. So if I just add this one here, I'm gonna have the images. So even if we came here and if we just want to copy, look, we have the uploading here in the front of, and it's the same as this one. For sure, let me go back and let me open it. Yes, we have it. So this is the problem that you have to face it whenever you're working with AWS SDK and you're uploading to the DigitalOcean. So be careful to send it on the configuration, the endpoint, the endpoint, the link without the bucket, just starting from the region. And if you want to save the right link for the image so you show it in the front, you need to add the bucket in the front of. So let me go and return back as it was. Yeah. So what we're gonna do next step? Next step, I'm not gonna show how to get the files because inside the image, we have already the files. So whenever you need it, I'm gonna remove this actually because it's not gonna work. So whenever you want, you just return the link of the image and it will work. So you don't need to get and grab the image from the spaces and return it as a binary or a blob. You just give it the endpoint and it will show it. So what I'm gonna do next is to delete the files, okay? So let's go and do that. So let me close all of this and let's come to the controller and let's add another delete mapping, and I'm gonna add files, and I want to add here the file name. I want to just to add it the file name. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna just say I'm gonna send the file, and it have an extension after the dot. They have another data. So let's do it. Here we have a public response entity, and we need to return a string as a message if it deleted or not. So delete file, and we need to add path variable with final string file name, and we need to have a response, and it will be response, and it's gonna be image service delete file, or you can use whenever you like by name, and the response will be for sure okay, and so on. So let me create this method for sure, and let me return a string, and let's go here, and inside is this section, I'm gonna add this one. So what we are going to do, why I'm sending the file, I'm not sending the ID, because I want to make it such a way that you're gonna deal with the name. So let's try to understand how we can delete it from the database first, or delete it from the digital ocean first, and then from the data. So we need to have here image name, and it's the file name, which is a substring of the file name last index of +1, and the file name last index of the dot. So why this? Because let's think about that you are sending all the link back. Like you have this image, you have this link. You're sending this link, and you don't need from the front end to ask him to send it only the name. So think about you are working with non-professional front end, and you have this issue. So let's do it as a scenario like this, okay? So let's make optional, or let me do it var again, data. I want to use the repository to find image by name, and I'm gonna send the image name, okay? So we need to create a method or a query. Let's in the repository, okay? So I want to return it optional of the image, and This is find the image by the name. So whenever it returns the data, we need first of all to check if data is present, if we have the data. So if we have it, we have that data. So we need to create the key first of all. Okay. So what is the key? Var. The key is the same as we used it up in the creation. Okay. So this is the folder, and this is it. The file name, get original name, but we don't need this, because do you know why? Because in this section we don't have the data. We don't need to use this first of all. We need first of all to use var image, and we need to grab from the data. The data is coming from the backend. Okay, so here we have full data with extension and so on and so on. So let's make it. Key is the folder, and I'm gonna add the data and get. We didn't use this. Yeah, I'm sorry. Image, get the name, and dot, and image. Why it's capital? And the image, get the extension. So this is the key. So what we're gonna do? S3 client will ask to delete the object, actually, not the bucket. So new delete object request with do space bucket and the key. Let me also fix this and the key. So after it's deleted, we need to get into the repository and delete the image that we have it. And after all, we need to do something like, okay, let me do a try and catch just in case. Make it exception. So we're gonna return exception get the message, and in this case we're gonna return deleted, or whenever you like. Okay, so let's give it a try again. Let's run the file. Okay. Let me have data here. Let me have all of this. Now we need to have a delete http localhost 8080 delete, and this is the file name, not http for sure. Yes, or let me try this one like this. We don't need all that long. Okay, so what else we need to check? This is the endpoint. Let me check the endpoint again. Yeah, file. Yeah, this one here is the file name and the string, and let's see what's going on. I guess this is it. Yeah. So let's give it a try. Oh, not found. Delete photo jpg. Why is not found? Host. Oh, yes. It's my mistake. We need to add an upload here. The mapping, I forgot the mapping. Again, we don't have it. Let me give it a try again. Oh yeah. Yes, we need to do it. This is more logical to have not file to make it delete actually. Yes, let's run it again. Let's give it a try now. Deleted. So it's been deleted. Let's go and check our image. Let's refresh. We don't have it here. Let's come back here and let me refresh this one. I hope it's been deleted. Yeah, congratulations, you already deleted the file also in the digital ocean. So guys, if you find it interesting, if you find this useful, you're always welcome to like my channel, to find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, X platform, even YouTube, and share with your friends with more knowledge. And let's keep the channel working. Thank you very much.